One that provided the gourmet cat food. Poor little guy. Oh man. Puke all over the place. Got this, Mike? I think there's still one more episode on this.
No, that's it.
Oh, there's only 3? There's one more disc left. That's funny. All I hear was look in there just in time. See the geyser of fucking puke coming. Man, that'd have been on your bed. That would have been something to see. Oh my god. So much for the expensive gourmet cat food.
I feed him pepperoni, kibasi, steak, chicken, KFC, not a problem. I go out and buy doctor prescribed cat food and what happens?
Well, you know what? It's not his normal diet. When you change it, when a cat eats the same thing all the time and he just changes his diet suddenly,
Oh, Penny.
that could have a bad effect on him.
He's getting me thick.
Gave him the vomits.
What happened to my bag of weed?
Pinky, what are you doing?
Your bag of weed? I don't know where your bag of weed is, Scott. Around here somewhere. Probably smoked it all.
Oops.
You forgot your hot dogs here, Scott.
Oh, shit. Will they be good in there next week?
No, they'll be gone.
You better eat them. You can't really
Throw
let them
them
sit
out.
out. It's meat. Well, you don't want them?
Nah.
I'll leave the cat at home. Unless
Mike
Mike wasn't going to
You
get it.
walk piece past the fucking bleach. Is that your problem?
I smell it.
Jesus Christ.
Pass the bleach.
You're gonna take that fucking thing and spray it in your car.
Worse than the ants.
Car
Yeah.
pressure.
Since your room smells like fish-smelling cat
See the
food.
garbage over here or what?
Oh, there's way over here. Wait a minute. Fish-smelling cat puke. That's fucking disgusting.
Well, it was meant for the
You
other
act like you
cat.
never heard of cat kiss.
Plenty of times. Just when it comes to your bedroom, it's kind of funny. Especially when Scott's the one responsible for the fucking mess.
I am not.
You gave the cat that shit.
Maybe with some bad weed.
All right, Mike.
Alright, so maybe next week.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Who knows? Scott's gonna be around now. He's got nothing pending.
Well, he's got one more disc of Photo Empire.
So, The Walking Dead.
Oh, God. There's always something. Ah, good night, Mike. Whoa, what happened here? What happened? You blew the head gasket?
Nah. Tune-up's got 100,000 miles.
Oh. Jesus Christ, I say this car's not that
You
old.
never blow out the injectors?
Huh?
You don't never blow out
I've
the
never cleaned them in mine.
Well, I told him that. Did you ask Mike about the injectors? No. He took the advice of a Jiffy Lube mechanic who told him he should do the injectors at 50,000 miles. Yeah, that's because that's Jiffy Lube's bottom line, is to keep you going in there and spending money.
Yep.
I never heard of anybody cleaning injectors on a modern automobile. That just doesn't happen.
GM used to have problems years ago.
Years and years ago.
Early,
Yeah, that was Stone Age shit. Nowadays, you don't look at an injector unless there's a problem with it, which there almost never is. All right, Mike, good night. Man, it's still humid out here.
It is.
Okay. Oh, tools, I forgot. Oh. What's this wire over here? Oh, that's for the camera. That's right. Oh man. God, you got off. So yeah, that cat usually sleeps on the bed too. You got off really lucky tonight. God, I just going in there right in the middle of his bed. Oh, that was good.
I feed, not anymore. I used to feed that cat everything. And not a problem. Then you feed him proper cat food, and he's hacking all over the place.
That happens all the time. Whenever they're on a single diet for a long time and you change it, it always fucks them up. It's all that rich fucking shit and that gourmet cat food.
Well, that's what I was going to give to the other cat.
Well, he'll puke outside. Who cares? But
Oh, I don't think he would have.
no, well, he would have puked and probably eaten it again.
And I had a bag of weed for him. He didn't show up tonight. Probably the rain scared him off.
Probably. Either that or Mike said something about a party somewhere. Maybe he was at a party caging scraps or something. Oh, boy. Well, we got one more disc to go. And the last disc is when the action happens.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, boy.
I knew the boyfriend was going to get killed.
Oh, yeah. An expendable character. There's a lot of expendable characters on these shows. They're whacking people left and
I
right.
knew that they weren't going to run off because then that would have been some of, what's that, Agent Mueller, whatever? Van
Yeah.
Olden.
Van Alden.
That's what she would have ended up like if those two did end up moving to St. Louis.
And now I guess he's going to be working for Capone.
Getting information about O'Banion.
Yeah, well, Capone whacks O'Banion in real life. Well, he had O'Banion whacked. He didn't do it himself, but that was the whole war going on in Chicago, culminating in the St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
Oh, so he doesn't get whacked for another 10 years.
This is 1924. He gets whacked fairly soon, actually.
Oh, I thought like 32 or something.
No. No, this all happened during Prohibition. 32 was pretty much almost over. And Capone was already in jail by 32.
All right, where's this fucking trench at?
Right there in front of us where all the cones are. It's probably worse now because it's been raining. Man, that's the fucking Lincoln Tunnel here. Look at this. Dump. Thump. Thump.
The
Boom.
fuck, man?
Boom.
See, even he's slowing down, huh? Look at that.
Because he sees you slowing down, he probably thinks something's going on back there.
He knows. Not everybody who lives here. See, everybody knows about that shit.
Boy.
Look at that. 52555.
52,555.
And clean injectors.
How much did they charge you to clean these injectors?
$29.99.
Well, at least it wasn't too bad a price.
Well, that's why I asked. I said how much. They go. Then I had a coupon. So they said they don't say come back in every freaking 5,000 miles. They said come in every 50. I'm like, all right. So. Can't believe the bear, that big old grizzly bear, got Elam.
You don't know that.
Actually, they didn't.
They didn't actually show him being buried or anything like that. Just showed him lying there. He could be unconscious. That's called a cliffhanger. You'll find out in season 1. He probably lives. He's too important a character to lose. I'll bet you he fucking lives.
Got 3 Indians though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was a neighborhood cop. Actually, reflective. No. Oh, fire chief.
Don't worry, there's cops around. Just not right there. We saw one last time we were going home, didn't we?
Oh, you always see cops,
Yeah.
mostly.
I mean, it's somewhere around here. I forget where exactly, but... I'm really surprised they haven't brought in Maranzano yet. I don't know what they're waiting for. They should have already, because he was an important player at this time. He was Joe Mazzaria's counterpart in New York City. And they end up engaging in a vicious war sometime right around between 24 and 28, somewhere in there. That's 4 years. They really start killing each other.
I didn't see the weather.
Shitty, continued shitty, pissy, coming down. A lot of traffic out for this time of night. Oh, we're a little earlier than usual. It's 1:54 in the morning.
Well, it sounds like the weather report for Good Morning Vietnam.
Yep.
Weather is crap.
Shitty weather, crappy, pissy weather.
What? Is that really Walter Cronkite? Weather continued crappy.
Oh, God.
That was pretty funny. Damn.
Tropical downpour here.
What's that look like when you play back the video?
Exactly like what we're seeing. Camera picks up an awful lot of light. Fucking windshield's fogging up. Yeah, except for one murder so far, Richard Harrow really hasn't done much this season. But I guarantee you he does make up for it.
Boyfriend in a box.
Yeah. Living him back.
Yes, I saw that coming. I knew he was going to come back.
Made a move on Joe the Boss. That's what happened. Mazzaria was vicious as a snake. He was an old-time, old-fashioned Sicilian mafia boss. Literally from the old country. So was Maranzano, but Maranzano was a little bit more cultured.
So the guy that the boyfriend could go kill, that was...
Joe Mazzaria, Joe the Boss. In New York City in the 1920s, there were two bosses controlling the organized crime in the city. Joe Mazzaria and Salvatore Maranzano. They were the two big guys. And they became even bigger during Prohibition. You know, their power went back to the turn of the century. They've been around a while, but Prohibition, they really grew and expanded. Neither one of them would survive the decade, or at least would survive past 1931. They were the last of the old world mafia in America. Because what followed with men like Meyer Lansky and Lucky Luciano was the modern mafia like we know it today, the modern mob. They had a commission, they had the families, they had established all that shit. But that didn't happen until about 1930, 31, 32, right in there. Only now we're just seeing the formation of it, you know, the beginnings. When these guys are slowly climbing the ranks, they're not quite there yet. And there's other important names in there. Bonanno should be in there. Genovese, and a couple of other ones.
Why are we breaking? What's up here?
Could be water, could be animals, could be cops. Could be we're just drunk.
I'm keeping my distance, man, for a whole fucking shitload of reasons.
Gotta see if we get a hold of a copy of the Joe Bonanno, or the Bonanno story. Because that tells the story of the whole Mazzaria Maranzano fight pretty good. Which it should, because Joe Bonanno was actually there and it was his fucking book it was based on.
How old was he when he died, like in his 90s?
Oh man, he was well into his 90s. He was the last one to survive. The only one left at the end of the original founding fathers of the mob.
What is this? What are we...
That's probably Bob Scott. Either that or he's nervous in the rain. Maybe he's got bad wipers or something. Who the fuck knows?
You know what? This is comfortable speed for me and a comfortable distance, so that's it.
Yep.
So where's Tiger?
Tiger is probably sleeping on my forklift. He likes to go in there and curl up on the seat. That's funny though with the big Troller, they fucked up on that one.
Oh, the crank being in the corner.
Yeah, what are they gonna do? Move a 90-pound machine away from the wall every time they want to crank it over? That never would happen. They were always in the middle of a wall or facing crank outward. So you could crank the damn thing, otherwise what the hell's it says I have it? And they're not calling him Lucky Luciano yet, are they? Or no, they have called him that. That's another fuck up. He's not lucky yet. He won't be lucky until, I think, 1927 or 28. When they take him for a ride, he lives. They say he's the only guy ever got taken for a ride and fucking lived to tell the tale. They carved him up a little bit, but he lived. And ever after, he was Lucky Luciano. Well, Thompson himself, or Johnson himself, was another one who made it to old age. I mean, he was not a young man in the 1920s, and he made many decades afterwards. He didn't die to the 60s.
You said 68, right?
1960. I don't know when exactly in the 60s, but sometime around in there. I have to look it up again. I forget.
He's wondering what the hell's going on, why the wife is so upset.
No, I think he's figured it out.
Oh, yeah.
He's not a fucking total fucking idiot. But they said Johnson was like that. The real Johnson, he was a regular ladies' man. I used to be a mildly crooked local politician. What happened? Prohibition happened. Stupidest farce in American legal history. And we learned nothing from it. They're still doing it with the fucking drug war.
Well, they're legalizing the drugs over there in Oregon.
Well, that's marijuana, not drugs in general, just marijuana. Which is a drug, so what the hell's the difference? Legalize one, legalize all of them. What the fuck? We spend trillions of dollars every year on this fucking war that never fucking ends, ever. Just keeps on going, endlessly, decade after decade after decade. No further ahead now. In fact, we're further behind now than we were then. Let them kill themselves on drugs if they want to. I don't give a fuck. What I give a fuck about is paying for, this fucking interdiction shit. Massive federal bureaucracies, state bureaucracies, local bureaucracies, all to fight drugs. If I thought we had a chance of winning, I'd say, hey, that's great. But I know we don't have a chance of winning, any more than we had a chance of making prohibition work. There's a market for it, there are people who will fill it. And the market seems to just keep getting bigger. Tell people they can't have something, they want it more than ever.
Hooray. Jeez. Bye. Come on. That's snow and ice out here. Look, he's still stopped over there.
It's ironic that Lansky and Luciano want to deal heroin. By the time they formed the original commission, one of the rules is going to be no drugs. Made members of the mob are not allowed to deal drugs. That was bullshit, of course. They all did it, but they weren't allowed to officially.
Oh, that's why in Goodfellas, Paulie didn't want to...
Yes, exactly. Drugs are a dirty business, blah, 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 which was true. Well, most politicians would look the other way about booze. Gambling, the normal vices, drugs are the one thing that they really couldn't look away from because the constituents would stand for it. At least back then.
Paulie
Now
told
the
him-
politicians themselves are doing drugs.
Oh, yeah. Well, in the movie, Paulie was telling him stay away from the junk and the garbage.
Yeah. You should hear him on the fucking YouTube. Henry Hill, the real Henry Hill, not the one from the movie. He's a fucking riot, or he was. He's dead now, but he was a fucking
I don't know
riot.
why he died so young.
Years of drug abuse. He wasn't that young, for one thing. He was in his 60s, but
Yeah, but still, that's not that
even
old.
near 70, maybe. I don't know. Well, he was an alcoholic and a drug abuser for many years. And that tears the body up. It destroys it eventually.
How close to the movie was it?
He said pretty damn close. Tommy was a psychopath. You know, and worse, though, was Jimmy Burke. Jimmy Burke is not really shown to be as crazy as he actually was in real life. Until the Lufthansa heist. And then he starts killing everybody to keep him quiet. He really did do that in real life. All of a sudden, people were dropping dead all over the place. Henry Hill was one of the very few to survive. To skate out of that. They never found the fucking money. Over $6 million, never found a fucking dime.
God. I don't know where it ended up or who got
Got
it.
kicked upstairs. Henry Hill said it went upstairs.
Yeah.
Went up the line, and to the upper echelons of the mob. The upper bosses. That's how it always worked. Everybody along the way took a taste. But the bosses always got the biggest share.
Good.
Huh?
Cop back there.
Around.
You have to let me know if you got the cop on video not getting me for a seatbelt on the way out. So what's 99 weeks? How many months is that?
52 weeks a year, Scott.
Oh, I'm stupid. Okay. Jesus.
A little less than 2 years.
I thought it was for as much as you worked. This is what I thought, whatever you put into it. Boy, hot and humid. It was hot in Mike's house.
A little bit. Well, my air conditioning's on at home. I don't give a shit. This is not gonna last.
No. Another week and that's it. Painters wanted.
Same sign I was there last week.
Why don't you tell Terry about some of these signs?
Yeah, well, you imagine her trying to paint something? You paint all over the place.
Got frogs all over the road.
Yep.
Or toads, one of the two.
Well, we are passing through the Patterson Swamp. Sort of their home territory. Uh-oh, here we go, the bump.
Little bump for me.
At least it's not as bad as the one back by Mike's house. Look at it that way.
Purposely not fixing this to fuck my car up.
They just want to make sure you're not speeding through town. It's like a speed bump.
Yeah, Breaking Bad had a good ending.
Yep. Walter got his comeuppance at last.
Got the neo-Nazis and
Got everybody, including himself, ironically. That's what he wanted. He didn't want to linger and die of cancer slowly.
what did he put in the tea, in the hot
Ricin.
tea? Ugh.
Take care of her.
You might be feeling a little queasy right now.
Yeah, that would be the ricin they put in your like crap you use.
What?
The transformation of a mild-mannered school teacher into a vicious drug kingpin.
Would she? How come he got rid of her?
Because she wanted him dead, basically, and she was in league with the neo-Nazis, and he knew it.
The only one that came out of it was Captain Cook.
Yeah.
That's the only one who
Who is probably going to go straight. Jesse. After what he's been through. He's clean, he's sober, he's got a getaway car. He'll probably just disappear.
Like his two buddies with the pen lights. Man, I already moved to Alaska.
Yeah.
And then the kid there gonna get some what is it, a charity check or something?
Yeah, endowment fund or whatever the fuck. An irrevocable trust.
This check is presented because you're a victim of a meth head, crackhead.
No, they're not going to give him a check for $9.8 million. They're going to fucking, or whatever the fuck it was. They're going to, it's a trust, which means he gets allowed to use the interest from it.
Oh, is that what a trust is?
Basically, yeah. They're not just going to hand him $9 million. He'll fucking blow it in a day.
Yeah, that would be kind of suspicious.
But the interest from that kind of money is a lot of money. You know, he's never going to want for anything for the rest of his life. His sister either, for that matter, or his mother.
And now they know we're hanking the.
And they're going to use the money to endow the trust. That's what it is. And they'll invent some excuse. Well, you know, years ago, your father helped us start this company. We never took care of him. So now we're going to take care of him. We take care of you.
So what was she going to use the grave site for? Leverage?
Yeah. Leave me alone, and I'll tell you what where Walter told me the bodies were.
And then the sister gets some closure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, even Walt said give him a proper burial.
Yeah. But Walt didn't want Hank dead.
No. Well, that kid was angry, didn't.
Well, yeah. All his life, his father's trying to teach him right and wrong, and what does his father go do?
Lie to him?
Lied, constantly murdered his favorite uncle, he thinks, or at least was responsible for getting his uncle killed. And he finally admitted he did it for himself, not his family. He enjoyed it.
If you tell me you did this for us, then.
He was good at it, he said. He enjoyed it.
Ooh, wet leaves on a corner.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's an accident waiting to happen.
Yep. Well, all is good for that. That's funny. They come home, no idea Walter's right there.
Yeah, well, he crept up on a bunch of people.
You're gonna need a bigger knife. If we're gonna go that way, you're gonna need a bigger knife.
To the car. Well, they slammed him on the TV. Oh,
Yeah, they had.
you didn't like that one bit. You thought he was going to go there to take care of him.
Yeah, this is where you start to pay it back, he said. That's what he meant.
I like the pen lights.
Yeah.
If you don't, might be tomorrow, might be next week, a month from now, maybe a year from now.
Yeah.
You're going to be out for a walk. Well, everything pretty much got tied up. I mean, that's
Yeah,
how
well, they finally,
wrapped-
that's how they should end the series, you know?
They wrapped everything
They
up.
wrapped everything up, yeah. It was said right from the start that it was not going to end well for Walter. You know, this is,
Well,
you're not allowed to have people like that end it well, you know?
what went right here? Nothing.
Well, the kid and his family did get the money in the end. That was his initial reason why he supposedly got involved in the shit in the first place. Provide for his family, and in the end, he did that.
Well, first he did it to get cancer money.
Yeah, that too, but he also did it because he didn't want to leave his family with debt. He thought he was going to die. He didn't think, remember, it wasn't until like the middle of the season that this treatment came along that he was able to try, and it started working. He thought he was going to die. So it was a matter of getting money for the family so they would lose the house after he's dead and all that shit. That was his initial reason. And he was only going to do 1 or 2 batches, and that was it. He didn't figure he'd get sucked into it, which he did. When you deal in that life, that's what happens.
He got so far involved.
Yeah, he couldn't get out. He couldn't disengage. Dealing with psychopaths and murderers and everything else.
Yeah,
Then he
well,
became one himself.
Neo-Nazis.
Yeah, he became worse than any of them. Orchestrating the murder of 21 people all at once. Killing people personally. I mean, he shot an awful lot of people himself. Or ran them over with a car, or killed them in other ways.
Oh, and then who's first or second episode? They got up in the bathtub upstairs.
Bathtub.
Yeah, they Captain Cook there.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah, the first 2 nut jobs. Yeah.
Yeah, the very first.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
Walking outside of the road, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Did you see him stumbling and wobbling?
He's drunk. At least he ain't driving.
And he's wearing dark clothes.
Yep.
I would have been pissed. He would have dented my car.
Yep. Yeah, maybe would have had some money on him. Man, they got some fog here. Look at this. Foggy Hollow.
Okay, I wonder if that was Chicky, too tall.
No, too tall.
He was walking upright.
Not enough hair either.
There's no bars around here.
Yep.
Well, I guess Mike's parents said they saw him
Did they?
up on Fair Street or something. Not Fair Street. Right there by the Court Diner somewhere.
Well, that's his normal stomping ground.
Speaking of not ending well,
Well, saw that happening from the start.
no car, no license, no job. And he's riding around with that old drunk lady.
Well, used to be. She don't have a license or a car anymore either.
Yeah.
Nobody forced it on him. He did it himself.
He could have put all that money away, lived off the interest.
Yes, he could have. He had the opportunity. Instead, he blew it on drugs and floozies and booze.
Once Vivian snorted all that money,
Floozy.
goodbye.
Yeah. Once the nose candy was gone, so was she. And Zach. Two of a kind. Nobody forced it on him either.
After a distinguished decorative career of
Yeah, bullshit.
oh God.
Career of crapola.
Decorated war hero of Lake Carmel.
Yeah. Yep, mighty in his own mind.
Damn, caught the light.
Oh, not your night for lights, I guess.
Well, if this is a trip light. Nope.
This is where Zach wrecked his mom's car.
I thought it was over.
No, it was right here. Right there.
No, it was over on 6th.
No, I was told it was right here. He told me it was right here.
No, I saw the car. I saw where it went.
You saw the car, but Zach told me it was there.
No.
Before that house was there, of course.
No. I'll show you where it was. That's what I want. If you go, we're gonna make a left. You go right, and once you get to the top of the hill, it levels out right before you start going down the hill, right in there. That's where you did. Not here.
Oh, he lied again.
Because I saw where it went into the woods. In fact, you know where the new street light is? It's not working anymore.
Yep.
Right there, like right in there. But it's all now. The last 10, 15 years, all that's cleared now.
Yeah.
And they built some building and now they don't use it no more. On this side of the street, where the church is.
Yeah.
The other side of the street.
Yeah, where they're gonna put the hotel, or we're going to.
I guess, yeah, they did right there.
Before the funding ran out. Yeah.
And I saw right where it went off the road that next day, or the next night. That happened that Thursday or Friday night.
Oh, you got brave again.
Yep. We'll roll the dice. Hid in the woods. I remember everybody came down to the hard hall.
You hiding, Zach? What the fuck are you talking about?
All day long.
Not all day long, just pat ass, that's all. I said, why the fuck would I be doing that? Did he kill somebody? And it is red. Look at this. Is it gonna happen? Look at that. 3 times in a row.
So it rained down here. It looks like not for a while.
It's pretty dry over here.
Yeah.
I don't think it rained here at all, actually.
Oh, it did rain.
Well, yeah, we saw it on the cameras. That's right. It did. It was a while back.
Yeah. Bumps.
Yeah, well, the state doesn't have any money, Scott. They can't afford to fill them in.
Oh man, you still got glass all over the street.
It's only sugar glass, for Christ's sake. It ain't gonna hurt you. Not like regular windshield glass. That's nasty shit. Side windows are designed to break that way so they don't fuck you up real bad in an accident. In the old days, they were laminated glass. You fucking impale yourself.
Yeah.
She asked Mrs. Brady about that.
Does she still need taxi service?
You can ask her. I told you to ask her. She's not driving, I know that.
Alright, we'll see you about next week.
Okay, Scott. See how it ends for Boardwalk Empire. And maybe we prepare for the beginning of Walking Dead.
Finally.
And this is to a close.